Good morning. It's just afternoon. So it was morning when I did my first video. So this is the second of two videos this morning. I'm trying to get them in because I'm actually going to a Facebook Live event at 1 o'clock, and I'm going to be talking about Sir Denise Lynn, who I have several of her oracle decks. The Mystical Garden Oracle was just released, and she has an online event, a free online event at 1 o'clock EST. So I'm going to go to that. So I purposely didn't blend my experience from yesterday. I did that as a separate real talk, but I did, and I wanted to do this as a separate weekly update because I always do them, and also to talk a little bit about sort of this week for me, and also some of the things that I'm realizing. So it was a huge, I took this week off work. I always take the week of my younger son's birthday off. It's the 2nd of June. We had a really good weather week. I got lots of little things checked off that are difficult sometimes when you're working, if you're working from home. We managed to go out to dinner twice this week. The second time was because we'd been to Boston all day, and I'm like, there's no way I'm cooking when I get home, and it's been hot. So all good excuses for me not to cook. And I think my son had fun. As you know, he lives with schizoaffective disorder, so sometimes it's hard to tell, but at least I got him out. We also went to see the movie Michael, and I know there are mixed reviews about that. Wow, it took me back. That was my era. I was born in the 50s, so the 60s, 70s, 80s. All that music, and just all the things they showed. I remember them being live on TV, like when he was on MTV, Billie Jean live, Thriller live. I mean, it brought up all of those memories for me. I didn't know a lot about his early life, but it made sense to me why the Michael that we saw after he broke away from the Jackson 5, I can see why. I mean, he was physically and verbally abused, which seems to be my theme. I talked about that earlier, so I'm not going there. I would have really liked to have seen more. I think they tried to put a very positive spin on it, even on the not so nice stuff. There's so much music that they could have, popular music. They picked a couple of songs that I don't even think I'd heard, but of course the main was Thriller, Billie Jean, and just it was a nice movie. And if you same age as me, I mean, you couldn't help but be a fan of Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 because it was the music, along with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and all of that stuff. So that, I think, started jogging my past memories. That felt like something was breaking loose. So we did the movies. I went into Boston. This is a big feat for me. I do not like driving in the city, period. I learned how to navigate parts of Boston when Rich had his thyroid cancer, and we had to go in frequently, every week. I mean, I was going in a lot. But I learned to navigate that part of Boston. I was going to a whole different part of Boston, and it was actually easier for me to drive with GPS. Thank God for GPS, because I'd still be driving around Boston. And that's a whole nother story, how that did happen to me once. Long before GPS, I literally got lost with the boys, and we had no idea what was north, south, east, or west. So that was quite funny. So we had a good week, and then Friday I also had to make some decisions. I live in a condo which I own. My bathroom desperately needs a facelift, and I bit the bullet and I got the plumber and a contractor in. I'm waiting for the quotes. I know it's not going to be cheap, but I was proud of myself. For me, that's another big step for me, because I don't like to rock the boat, and I realised that I've become very insular in that part. Like, I find it hard to ask for help. So this was huge. Two really nice guys. I know the plumber. I didn't know this is a contact of his. So that was fabulous. I feel comfortable about that. I'm just hoping they keep it within my budget. So that was my week. But then this shifting, this remembering, so going into Boston brought up some memories for me, good and bad, and just the different parts of Boston that we landed up driving around. We were around Boston Common, up Beacon Hill by the State House, past my central office, which is my central office from where I work. So we were really in the midst of Boston. So I gave myself a pat on the back. I had a glass of red wine and I had a lobster roll to celebrate that, because this is big when you've been a single mother for a long time and you do everything on your own. I would avoid the things I wasn't comfortable with, so I pushed myself out of my comfort zone, and then up came those things that I have been skirting around, and I talked about that in Real Talk. So if you keep avoiding things, they keep coming back. And then I was listening to some podcasts that were talking about this incoming energy. We can't avoid it. It's going to be about us facing all of those big things, the things that we haven't let go of, all of that. And I was like, I don't want to hold on to this anymore. So that's what Real Talk's about. I actually did a session with my ex-husband's half self, higher self. So that was awesome. So this 6/6 portal, I've been in between doing a few things. I've been trying to figure it out. So the 6/6 portal is a powerful cosmic gateway where the vibration energy of the number 6 is amplified, focusing heavily on love, healing, harmony, and matters of the heart. So again, whatever was pushing me was part of this energy. So this is part of the Venusian energy. The number 6 is governed by Venus, the planet of love, relationships and prosperity. It is considered a prime time to attract healthy love, improve interpersonal bonds, and deepen self-love. And I realized when I was doing that earlier video that what I have to do, because as I let go of all of that, I felt this huge relief in my body. I now have to fill that up with light and love, and it has to come from me. And as you know, for a lot of us, that's a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge. It's about setting boundaries. It often prompts individuals to examine where they may be overgiving or abandoning themselves for others. That's me. Encouraging a shift towards balance, mutual respect in relationships. Manifestation. Many practitioners use this day as an intentional time to meditate, write down clear intentions, and visualize their goals as already achieving to align with a higher vibration. So that's what I'm going to be doing at 1 o'clock, is going to this launch of the Mystical Garden Oracle. I will pull some cards from that. I'm still familiarizing myself with it. And it sort of lines up nicely with, again, I have been extremely drawn to raise your vibration, because the planet's rising, so we need to in turn rise, and some interesting things have come through. I've also had another conversation with the 9. Somebody sent me a link to Steve Rother, who also channels the group of 9, but after listening to a couple of his podcasts, the 9 said, we're of the same vibration, but we are not the group of 9. that is an angelic vibration. This is a galactic vibration, and these are planets. They've told me we're going to have more conversations. I've just got to keep learning. They're saying learning and growing with them, and this is for them. They connected with me as this because I have a vibrational frequency that they could tune into, because they want me to share about disclosure was the thing they came to me with, and they are very passionate that us here on Earth, us Earthlings, need to understand the real reason behind disclosure, and what is being shown to us currently is BS. And they're saying it's much more gentler. It's not going to be this. We're suddenly. I actually watched something on not YouTube, on Netflix, which was sort of a documentary. Made me sort of shake my head. So I'm not going to go into that. So it's all about keeping in alignment. It's about listening to our inner self, not listening to what's going on the outside. If you catch any new, even if you're avoiding the news, you can't, even if you scroll through Facebook, you can't help avoid all these people coming on and saying, we need to be worried, we need to be worried, we need to be worried, we need to be worried. Oh, we don't want to, upset you, but, the World FIFA Cup, is coming to, I live in Boston. Well, I don't live in downtown Boston. I'm miles outside of Boston. And there's all this about, threats to us. Yes, we know that. I still think as Americans, we're in denial, or we're not even told. We're not getting the correct information. And even if you pick up people saying, well, I'm getting this from other side. I've checked in with my brother a couple of times from things that I heard people say, other countries, including England, blah, 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 blah. And I'm texting my brother going, what's going on? What about, and he's like, oh, stop worrying. So again, listen to your inner knowing, right? We need to tap into Mother Gaia more than we do anything else. She needs us and we need her right now. So if you followed me before, you know that I tap in to Mother Gaia. I'm very connected to her, and I connect to the galactics, the galactic realms, as well as the dragons. My dragons are still there. They're not going anywhere. They pop up every now and again with a joke or laugh about things. Actually, that's when I think about that. So about my chapter in the book, it was funny. We were having a conversation about my channeled messages, or there was a channeled message that was put in my chapter. And when V said, well, it's not, it's sort of very choppy, it's not grammatically correct. And the dragons could not stop laughing. They were like all around me. They were falling over and they were like, English isn't even our language. They were like, we don't even speak English. We send you the information and you speak it for us. So I'm like, I don't mind you making it grammatically correct, but always, for as long as I've channeled, I cannot change. Even if it doesn't sound right as I'm writing it or I'm hearing it, I have to say or write what I'm given. It's not up to me to change it. So, but they thought that was hilarious because they were like, we don't even speak. We do not speak English. We send you the information and you speak it for us. So another bit of information about channels, right? Often we don't know that we're receiving another language because it's a frequency. So this is all about frequency. So language is a frequency. So we can hear it because we are tuned in, right? We're a whole electrical circuits. I mean, it's about our vibration. So that makes sense to me, but I just thought it was funny that they couldn't stop laughing. I mean, they were hysterically laughing about that. So there is a message I got because I asked the dragons a question, and it was their answer. And also, my dog at the end gave a message as well. So that's the book is the Dragon Codes. It's going to be published. It will be out in September. 25 authors. So there'll be some good information about dragons. So my dragons have not gone away. Right now they've said, we're over here, you need to do your job with the galactics. So I think that's what I'll be delving into more as things start clearing up for me, because I feel like I'm in a bit of a fog as my other stuff falls away. So let me do, so I did pull the first card I pulled, which I thought, this is 6/6 portal. This was the card that I pulled. New beginnings, springtime garden. And I actually thought, let's see what the message is. So that was the first card I pulled for the week. And it says, a new cycle is beginning in your life. This is the time to clear away any dross and let go of inner or outer clutter. A new beginning is on the horizon. Wipe the slate clean. It's time now to release the old in your life and start again. If you have ever been thinking of starting a project or entering into a new relationship, this card bodes well for you. If you want to start a new program, embark on a new career, or simply go into a fresh direction, the timing is great for it is right now. Although it can be difficult to release familiar routines, situations and relationships, when they no longer support or empower you, it's time to begin anew. Face your fear, stretch into a new direction. It's a reminder that there is always a chance for new beginnings. So I would also say, even if you're getting older, I'm not going to say older, there's always the chance, right? We're never too old to start something new. And I always feel like that. It's almost like a new week. It's a new chapter. So we've actually had really good weather. It's been a little bit too hot. I also went, so when we went to Boston, we went to see the King Tut exhibit in Boston. It was meant to be an immersive experience. I'm not quite sure what we were expecting. It wasn't as immersive as we thought. I would also say, if you're going, it's very dark in there. And between my son and I, we were like fumbling around at times. I got a few body chills in there. I do remember a time. I remember lifetimes in Egypt, and certainly when we got to the outside, they were talking about how it goes down. I still remember a past life journey I think I went on. Actually, it was a meditation, but I knew about this secret chamber that went down even further. So yeah, I had a few past life flashbacks. I do remember in a particular lifetime in Egypt, because the pyramids have always called me. Actually, I've got just pulled the pyramid here. Interesting. All right. So I've pulled 3 gateway cards. Interesting. I am presence, light body activation, accessing the divine within. So that goes with just what I was saying about we need to go in here, need to tap into our hearts. This again has come up a lot. One of the directions I got given the other day was about holding a crystal, holding it to your heart and connecting so that you could clear. It was about clearing your energy bodies, or clearing your, or I've always called it aura, but your energy bodies. So I am presence, light body activation, assessing the divine within. If you have any crystal, you can hold it in your heart, connect it, and then ask it to clear. And then the Stellar Gateway. So I love this card, which is also the pyramids as I'm talking about them. Infinite potential manifestation vortex. So the Stellar Gateway is what connects us to everything above. So our chakras go up. I mean, they go way up, but this is the one that will take you out to the galaxies. And then the Divine Matrix, which is also the flower of life there. Interconnectedness, synchronicity, and God incidences. Oh, connecting to the divine. I've not actually seen that word. I love that when words come up that I've never seen. I might have to look that one up. So that's those. So let's do. I've got those 3 new beginnings. So let's see what these have to say to us, which is raise your vibration. So I'm going to continue using these until I'm told to move on, because this is about portals opening. Portals are openings into new beginnings. Portals open. I mean, portals are everywhere. Most of us can't see them. Sometimes I can see them. Oh, so I'm going to say I see them in the sky, and they are telling me, well, yes, you're a sky reader. Devotion unites me with the infinite. The devotion, that's sticking with something. I've got this one sticking out. Truth is my teacher. So yes, that's exactly what I did this week. And I think if you are holding on to any heavy stuff, it's time to let it go. I am supported on my path. So that's just confirmation. It's a dragonfly. That can also be hummingbirds. It can be anything. Crow. Also, I've been feeding my crows. So I've been giving them peanuts in shells. And I also posted on Facebook, I've joined this crow group about how they love fruit. So I've been chopping up an apple. And it's funny, when they know that they see me come out, I usually get a single core because they're thanking me. And it also alerts there's a family. I've had up to 4 crows, but usually it's 3. And one more. I am protected by source. So, whatever happens, we're all divinely protected by source. So I'm hearing one more from the garden, the mystical garden. So be on the lookout for portals. You might perceive them. I've never seen them in a home, but they are there. For me, I've been told many, many times that in my other lives, when I'm not on this planet, not on Earth, I can see that I read the sky. I have a fascination, as you know, I first met my dragons in the sky. And since then, where I live, I'm at a high elevation above sea level. I feel sometimes like I'm off planet. It's almost like I feel like I'm on a home planet. And I can see, I read what's there. There is a name for it. It's also meant to be a psychiatric issue. Of course, you've got to make it mental illness. But I can, I haven't seen them recently, and I probably haven't been looking, but we've got a storm coming. I would see the storm dragons coming in, and I'd see the storm dragons leaving. They like a good storm. They're just telling me that. We can't wait. They're usually big, big dragons because they love to come in and ride the storm. So let's see this last card for the week. We've got new beginnings. and one more card, which is, purification. So just what I was talking about how we need to make sure that all of our emotional bodies are clear. Morning dew. It's really, it's as important as brushing your teeth. And I'm telling myself this because I have become lax on grounding and on protection. So I need to step that up. Let's see what purification. Morning dew. Sometimes our lives and our auric field become so dull and dingy that we can't see the world around us clearly, and we have difficulty hearing the messages from the soul. This card suggests that it is time to cleanse and purify yourself. Hands up, I had not read this. Honestly, like literally I touched this card and that's what I heard. Oh, I've got body chills. You can do this mentally, emotionally, and physically. If you have been considering a cleansing diet, this is the time. If you've been considering a massive clutter clearing effort and space clearing, this is the time. If you've been thinking about a retreat or a practice of mindfulness or therapy, this is the time. When you purify your life, not only will brilliant light flow through you, but the radiance will also help heal others as well. So remember, as we heal others. You've heard me say that many times before. Oh, I haven't lost my touch. I'm actually quite proud of that. One of the tasks the dragons gave me several years ago was not to, like when I picked a card, not to go by what it said in the book. They were like, pick it and we want you to feel the energy of the card and then give your message, because that's how I learned to do my oracle deck. So again, there is magic. I love these cards. This fairies, as you know, it's been a few years I've connected with fairies, and there's the morning dew. So it's Saturday. I hope you have a good rest of the weekend wherever you are. We've got a good start to next week, I think. And if anything comes to me, if the 9 have more to tell me, or whatever I feel you need to know, or another real talk, I'll be back. So I hope you all have a good rest of the weekend and a good work week. Talk to you soon.